Hello, this is pretty much part 2 to a video I just filmed 2 minutes ago, and that was a book haul. This is a book UNHAUL. And also, I bought this t-shirt a couple weeks ago and I have not worn it outside because it's white. I'm scared to ruin it, so I'm just going to show it off here. It's a Scream top. I got it off eBay. Please compliment it down below. But yeah, if you have not watched that UNHAUL, it will be linked down below, and it's also the last video uploaded. But yes, today or now we are doing an UNHAUL, and these are books that have been sitting under my bed for so long. Some of them I've read, some of them I've not, some of them I've just decided, you know what, I've had you for too long, I don't care anymore, I'm never going to read you. Like, there's some books, well, we'll get to them, but I just, you know the feeling. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe. If you have any thoughts on any of these books, leave them in the comments down below. And just like my last video, we're going to try and film this in one take, no cuts. Let's just talk. I prefer that these days. I just love just chatting to you like you're my friend right there. Because I have no real friends, so I need to talk to myself in a camera and a viewfinder and a ring light. I almost forgot what that was called there. So anyway, yeah, let's get started talking. Oh my god. Let's get started talking about the books. So we're just going to see whatever I pick up at this pile. Grey by E.L. James. Okay, so last year I read the 50 Shades of Grey series for the first time and I binge read them. I was obsessed with them. I actually, embarrassingly, put them in my top 10 books of 2022 just because I had so much fun reading them. And I have owned Grey since then. It is the first book retold from Christian Grey's perspective. Think Midnight Sun, Twilight, but she actually wrote the whole series. And let's be honest, the time has just passed. If I was going to read this, I would have done it at the time. And at the time, I kept saying, okay, I'm going to give myself a little break because it is the exact same story. I was like, I'll give myself a little break and I'll come back to it and then I'll read the whole series again, but from his point of view. I think they're called Grey, Darker, and Freed instead of 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Freed, and 50 Shades Darkest. I don't know. Basically, I don't care anymore. The time has passed. I know the story. I know what happens. It would be kind of fun to read it from his point of view, probably, but I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. So sadly for Grey, it is going in the UNHAUL pile over there. Next, this is only like a fake UNHAUL kind of because this is Gone by Michael Grant. I was obsessed with this series last year as well. It's my favourite series of last year. I am obsessed with it still. And I bought a box set of the entire series after I read the single book individually. I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the whole series. And I did. I binged it all right away. And this is the original one that I had before I got the box set. So I don't need the single copy. And that shows how long these books have been under my bed because I'm pretty sure that was like last April, May I read this series. So this has been under my bed since then. For like a whole year, sitting there gathering dust. So Gone is a YA dystopian about all these kids who get trapped under this kind of dome, and then all of well, basically everyone over the age of 15, I think it is, disappears, and then some of them start getting powers, and then all sorts of horrible stuff happens. There's plagues, there's torture, there's factions, there's war, there's demons, there's horrible creatures. It is the best series that I read last year. It's probably the only series. Actually, here's the whole series right here. Gone, Hunger, Lies, Plague, Fear, and Light. I highly recommend it. This is not even a real UNHAUL. I'm just unhauling this physical copy because I have the whole series in nicer editions. So goodbye to that series. Not to that series, to that book. Okay, next. A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the very first Sherlock Holmes book. And I was excited to read this because Arthur Conan Doyle is Scottish. I am Scottish. I like reading Scottish authors. And Sherlock Holmes is one of those just like worldwide famous characters in series. And I'd never read any before. This was so boring. I don't remember anything about it. I remember wanting to DNF it, but I forced myself to finish it because the text was pretty big and it didn't take that long to read. But honestly, I do not remember a single thing that happened in this book, and I will never read it again, and I have no desire to read any other Sherlock Holmes books ever. I've never even watched any Sherlock Holmes like films or anything. Like, they just do not appeal to me at all. I'm making sure I'm not lying as I'm saying that. But yeah, I did not care about this. This was so boring. People probably do love it, but yeah, that was trash. Another one, which funnily enough, oh no, that's a Penguin Popular Classics. I would say it's the same edition. It's not. This is a Wordsworth. Aesop's Fables. I got this from a charity shop a couple of weeks ago, and I just read it because I was like, this will be fun and quick and easy. Oh my god, again, I wanted to DNF this straight away. It was so boring. So Fables are little miniature, like literally one paragraph short stories that basically tell you morals. And to be fair, these were written and collected like 2000 years ago, 1500 years ago, a long time ago. So obviously the morals aren't always going to line up with what our current day morals are. But yeah, I thought these were terrible. I thought these were so boring. There's some classics, like there's the Boy Who Cried Wolf, and there's like the Tortoise and the Hare, you know, slow and steady wins the race. There's a few little nuggets of gold in there, but in general, especially when you're reading them back to back, like a whole book of them, I was so over it because it's the same animals over and over again. It's like, how many times can a snake do this? How many times can, like, who else is all the time? Oh, the ass, like a donkey. How many times can a donkey get himself in these stupid situations? This was so boring. And I had to force myself to read it because I was like, I cannot DNF something that is literally so short, like these little miniature paragraphs. I was like, just force yourself to finish it just because it's embarrassing DNFing like something that easy. But anyway, yeah, I just keep throwing it away and picking up again. Aesop's Fables, I would say, are a pass. Okay, what should we do next? I have some books that I did really enjoy, I just don't see myself reading again, so we'll do them since that's more positive. So we have The Switch by Beth O'Leary, and this is about a girl and her grandmother, and they kind of swap lives and swap flats, and the grandmother moves into London and is in with all these young people, and reinvigorates the whole community around her. And then the girl goes to her grand's little quiet English village and has to try and chill out and take life slower and learn to appreciate the little things. And I really enjoyed this. It was very cute. It was very fun. There's a nice romance, but the romance isn't even like the A plot, which you kind of would expect when you just see the cover. It just looks like a straight up romance, but it's not. The grandmother and the daughter, no, the granddaughter, learning to appreciate their lives in different ways. That's the A plot, and then there's just like a little bit of romance sprinkled in there. And this was really good. I really enjoyed it. The Flash Hair, I'd actually really like to read that. Beth O'Leary seemed like a really great writer. This is the only one of her I've ever read. But yeah, it was cute, it was fun. I would definitely recommend this, but I don't see myself reading it again, so I'm not going to keep it. But this one, I'm not going to throw. This one I'm going to gently place here because I liked it. Next, similar vein, this is Spider-Man The Darkest Hours, and this is 3 Spider-Man stories, which are like novels, and I read this last year. This was a gift from Andrew, and I hope he's not offended that I'm going to unhaul it, but I'm just never going to read it again. But I really enjoyed this. So there's 3 stories. There's The Darkest Hours, which is about the Rhino, who's a classic Spider-Man villain. There's Down These Mean Streets, which is about him, Spider-Man, joining up with the police force to find the source behind a lethal new drug that gives users superpowers. That one was fun. And then there's Drowned in Thunder, which is basically a story about J. Jonah Jameson really ramping up his campaign against Spider-Man. And all of these were fun. I really enjoyed them. They're all great stories from what I remember. I never disliked any of them. But I'm not going to read them again. So that's pretty much all it is. I'd definitely be interested in reading more novelized stories about superheroes because I just really enjoyed this format. I struggle with comics. I know that I've read some of the Penguin Classics Marvel comics, and I like them more because they're, I don't know, there's something really innocent and pure about like that early stage of Marvel comics, but like recent ones, whenever I look at them, like I always think, oh, that'd be so fun because I love like Marvel movies and stuff. But whenever I pick up like a recent graphic novel or comic, I'm just like, this is too much. There's too much going on here. But I love the characters and stuff, so I'm definitely going to read more novelization type ones. But yeah, this one was great. I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Marvel or superheroes or Spider-Man or anything like that. So I will gently place it in the unhaul pile. I will not throw it. There we go. Made by Stephanie Land. Again, I really enjoyed this. This was about a woman. It's a true story. It's kind of a memoir, and it's about her struggle to get out of the welfare system in America and how it's such a trap where you basically, once you become homeless, it's so hard to escape out of it because they want you to work, but if you earn even like $10 more than they kind of set your benefit limits at. All your benefits are suddenly taken away, so then you end up like way poorer than you would have been if you just didn't work at all. So it's like this endless cycle of poverty and homelessness, and it's her working this job as a maid to try and earn money for her and her daughter and trying to work her way out of this. And she really delves into the whole homelessness issue in America, which is so bad, especially now post-COVID. It's even worse than ever. So it's really sad, but it's also really funny. There's really funny stories. She makes a lot of scenarios about the people whose houses she cleans and just kind of how she imagines their lives to be based on the things that she finds in her house and stuff. I really enjoyed it. I found it informative, I found it funny, I found it sad. And there's Netflix series. I have not watched it. I kept saying I was going to watch it. Probably won't now. But yeah, I would recommend this as well. If you're a fan of non-fiction, even if you're not, this was super easy, quick read. I really enjoyed it. So it will be gently placed in UNHAUL pile. Now we have two that I have had under my bed forever and I'm just not going to read. So we have The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos. I've never said his name out loud before. Carlos Riaz Zafon. It's The Shadow of the Wind anyway. It is a very famous BookTube book, and that is why I've kept it for so long, but I just need to be honest with myself. I have no intentions of reading this. It is about this boy who finds this book, and it's by some author, and then he tries to find more books by the author. It turns out that all of the author's books have been destroyed, apart from the one that the boy physically owns. And then there's more to it than that, but I don't really know, and I don't really care. This has been on my bed for at least 2 years now. I'm never going to read it. I'm sorry. It's probably great. I know it's probably great. I know it's a lot of people's favourite book. I know that a lot of people love it, but no, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And then finally, I have this one. I can't even unhaul this. This is my dad's, technically, now I'm picked up. But this is Captain Corellis Mandolin by Louis de Berniers. I don't even know what it says. My dad gave me it. Oh, there's a bookmark in it. My dad gave me this. It's been on my bed ever since he gave me it. Dad, if you watch this, I'm not going to read this probably. I'm not going to spit it off actually. Okay, this won't go in the UNHAUL pile. This will just go in. Oh my god, the text is so small. Why is the text so small? It's not going in the UNHAUL pile because it's not actually mine, but it's going into the return to sender pile because my dad can have it back. Okay, so that are all the books that I'm going to unhaul. I'll try and hold them up, maybe, if you give me a second. Here we go. This is all the books I'm going to unhaul. I've read most of them, I think. I don't know what the percentages of read versus not read, but basically I don't want these anymore, so they're going to go to the charity shop. If you have any thoughts on any of these books, let me know. Don't tell me not to unhaul any of them because they're going to go regardless. I mean, okay, let's see how many I've read. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 out of 9 I've read, so that's really not that bad. And this one's not even getting unhauled, it's going to my dad, so 6 out of 8 I've read. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, check out my book haul. It will be linked down below, and it's also the last video on my channel. Again, I've said this like 3 times now. Leave me any thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.